funny. My mom hated British humor when I was a kid, so we never watched it. So I've never seen it.
I watched it as an adult.
So British music. So you don't.
Oh, now
no
British
Def
music,
Leppard.
yeah. One-armed drummer. Yeah, I'm down with some Def
That's
Leppard.
just because you read about it.
No, I
You didn't listen to it.
You heard from other kids, so you have to wait till he's 18 to.
He never listened to him forward.
Right.
All the rock music he listened to was back.
That was only back in my Peters Brothers days.
He's like, turn me on, dead man. I know that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap, it's epic coffee time. Hi.
Hello.
Was there one guy out there,
Yeah.
one person, one
We don't have anyone.
Probably us logged in.
Probably Dave.
There's no way. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, it's supposed to start 2 minutes
I
ago.
am in
Honolulu.
Honolulu, Hawaii.
That means you're world famous.
No.
I would not be watching
Where is he?
it.
Oahu?
You
Is he
would
go see down?
You would miss it, and you would.
I would miss it.
And you would probably log in.
Yeah. No, you would.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
You would.
We say that right now, but
No,
if,
you know
if
what?
any of us misses,
When
we're
I
always
was
like,
when I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, which I skipped tonight,
oh, and they're moving up.
they're the Final Four.
Congratulations. Is that a good thing or a bad thing that the city is always eating out?
Well,
It's a
they're
good thing.
stimulating the economy. It's
What
Edwardsville's
does
economy. but
Buffalo Wild Wings give to the winning school?
It's a pretty sizable check.
And they can do whatever they want with that money.
I don't know what I think they can only buy chicken with it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think that's even chicken. They were the little pigeon wings. man.
They are some.
I've never seen so pathetic looking chicken in my life in that place. But
well,
they're doing a
it's
good
because
thing
they're
for
not.
school.
It's because they're not Canadian.
They're not from the pump
Oh,
house.
that's right.
Right.
The Wood River mutated.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out on the burger, by the way. I think it was only you and one other person. King Louis looked like the reigning champ. For the
Oh,
best-
well,
the best
through
burger.
the-
I never had your burger though.
Yeah, that's fine. You should come in. I'll make you one.
Huh? I say I put King Louis and then a Fast Eddie's was a close second.
Yeah, Fast Eddie's people had on there, but King Louis looked like.
No, you were off that night, so you weren't.
We might have to do
making the burger.
an epic coffee time on location. A friend of mine that I work with is going to do the King Louis challenge next week.
where they eat
Oh,
The
nice.
8 patty burger,
Oh, yeah?
the potato planks, and 32 ounce soda.
Right?
Oh, sweet.
And he's smaller than I am.
I'm up for watching. I'm up for watching somebody do that.
Fred would probably
Fred
accuse him
Davis.
of stealing his
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
He didn't that guy eat
Yeah.
do
Looks
the
like
King
Civil
Louis
War
challenge?
veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name? Jack
Looks like
Handy
it.
or something like that, or
Civil War veteran.
The
Kyle the Hammer.
Kyle the Hammer.
Yeah, he did it
or
on
something.
Too Heavy to Skydive.
Right. Right.
We'll just do it better.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Nobody watches it.
What? Here's what
No,
we
it
said would be
wouldn't
funny.
matter anyway.
Have a competitive eater doing it, and while they're doing it, Rich or I in the background just real nonchalantly matching them bite for bite. You know what I mean? And then you're like, yeah. You're like, yeah, good job.
That'll be an hour after you guys get in.
Right. I'd probably have to lay down and take a nap.
Yeah, I'd always wanted to go to Crown Candy Kitchen in St. Louis and do the milkshake challenge.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Because I think I could do it.
Milkshake.
Too much milk.
Dude, I think I
No.
could do it.
I want to
You
do
see the
that.
people who try to drink it like a
And
half
they
gallon of
throw
milk.
up.
Yeah,
Over
they
in the
just
hood.
Oh, yeah.
In North
regurgitate everywhere.
It's too much.
You have to
The
practice.
BLT.
You have to condition
Yeah,
yourself.
the BLT is
I
supposed to be.
I could
I want a
do it.
milkshake.
I've seen you with
I want
that.
a
pound of
milkshake.
bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can never have enough bacon.
No.
Well, what about an orange juice challenge or something like that?
For all the healthy people?
Yeah.
Because we choose big.
Oh, it's at the coffee time.
No, what's orange juice?
I don't know what that is.
What is what you dip your
What is
bacon
this?
in?
This orange juice, though.
That's the first piece right there.
That's right. It's the wrong brand, but it's all right.
He told me that would get pointed out.
we could cover it up.
Yeah, do
When I
I need to tape this up?
When I was a user, I always made sure to keep Dr. Pepper product around.
Even if you had to put something else in the bottle?
You should come up with can cozies for people to put their.
There you
So
go.
it says Dr. Pepper on the outside.
that's
or
true.
Bottle zippers. Or,
When are you going to bring more of that Shiz Cola? Or Shiz drink?
The
whatever
shiz
that
drink?
was.
I don't know.
That was the Shiz.
Was
The
good
shiz.
shiz.
All right, Brian Evans, you're missing out. We actually have Millie here. She's a longtime viewer, sometimes fan. And she actually showed up for the show. You always say you're going to. And
Yeah.
Never do.
I'm going to Club Fitness.
Yeah, I'm
to watch people get fit.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what it is. And her husband Steve has joined us too.
The poor sucker who married
Right,
me.
right. right before the long cut. You did great because he caught the light right, and so you like blocked out like
He moved
witness protection program.
And then we also have Rod from he's a
Brad
sponsor.
Rob's Small Engine Repair.
Brad
He's a
Rob's
sponsor of the show.
Glad to be here, guys.
So we were just talking crap on lawnmowers before he came in. So, but if we know somebody like this in the biz,
Hey, cheapest in the business too. It does great work.
we were saying how back in the old days it felt like you could work on your mower yourself, and now you just can't. They all have those preset, throttle. The little spring gets a little twig in it and knocks it out of whack, and now it won't idle anymore. You know, you try to put your own spring on
He
there.
carries his own whack, so he can put the whack right back in it.
So I bought my poor son a push mower, an old-time real mower. No, you know, one thing I have to do on that. The one thing I do on that is WD-40
There you
it.
go.
We turn it. If it cuts a piece of paper, the blade's set right. We're like, there you go, man.
Hey, that's the thing. I'll pick up lawnmowers on the side of the road all the time, and 90% of the time, clean the carburetor, put new gas in it.
It
New
runs
plug
fine.
Fires right up.
Ain't got no gas in it.
It ain't got no gas.
That'd be great if he. One time do that and just go out and be like,
He's a whiz on the small engine.
I took that little feller and I put him in a shoebox.
Some people call it the Kaiser blade. I call it sleeve.
What'd you do with that lawn right up there? I sat him right up there in the corner while I'm working on my mower. What'd you do with that little feller was only about that long.
Looked like a baby squirrel.
No bigger than a squirrel.
Oh, no.
Sorry, people.
That's when they were outside sitting on the stump. That's a bad story. Oh.
10-year-old kid.
I know, he's like,
St. Louis.
what? He's buried in the shoebox. Yeah, I think you were ad-libbing the part, setting him up on a shelf.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that being in
Director's
there.
cut.
Right.
Director's cut.
No, I was talking about when he's working on the mowers in the garage.
Yeah.
That's him up in
Got the little dead baby body.
This show's went downhill. Dead baby.
It does all the time.
It does. Speaking of
The last
downhill,
race foundation. Dead baby.
Rob has nothing to do with it. It's all Billy.
You're the one that put the baby up on a shelf looking down.
Little feller, baby.
Little fella, baby. Could have been a sock.
Can we rig it up to be like a phone holder?
Which
like a dot.
hanging from the hand.
Oh, hey there.
Technical difficulties.
brings to mind an
Wow.
old story.
Now you know why
Drunk.
now you know why the quality is so spot on.
you waxed the table.
I did.
So, anyway, several years ago when I lived in the woods, all right, not in the woods, but here in Wood River, I had a shed out by my house.
Live out there in the shed. Get off the shed!
Yeah. So anyway, somebody came by and I had it
I remember
for sale.
the story.
Somebody came by and picked up the shed, and there was a dead cat under there. All right, so it was all leaning like this, right? And my neighbor was a drunk. I mean, just hardcore drunk all the time. He would get up 5 o'clock in the morning and start collecting aluminum cans, and that's what he did. That was his job. He'd collect enough aluminum cans to get drunk, you know. And so I knew this. He kept a bucket out by the fence.
Brought to you by Shaky.
So I get that cat out. And I
Parkinson's awareness.
I pick that cat up and I lean him on that bucket. So when he walks out there, the cat is hanging on the bucket. So
He didn't even notice, did he?
I go, here's the thing, is I come home from work, right?
It's yours.
I come home from work and I'm so excited, and, you know, I wish I could have taped it or whatever.
Wait a minute. Come home from work. This wasn't when he was like 10.
No. I'm an adult. I was going to dress the cat, but I didn't have any baby clothes. So, anyway, I come home from work, and the cat's nowhere to be found. The bucket's back where it normally is, but the cat's nowhere to be found. I'm like, no, did he get rid of that? It was a perfectly good dead cat, you know. So anyway, so I walked down the length of my garage, and there at the very end of it must have been where the cat finally fell off. So he walked the length of my garage.
Oh, you always walk down
the
between your
backyard.
garage
Yeah,
and the
I thought you were gonna say they'd be sitting next to each other at the table with both the beers in their hands.
Oh, and this guy was he was a delight to live next to.
Because all of a sudden his head would just appear in your window. He'd be looking in and it'd be like, hey, dude, you want to come in for a minute? Hey, what's up?
And his sister was always kicking him out of the house, right? So, she didn't live there.
But she just kicked him out.
She would just kick him out of the house.
So nobody's in the house.
So he would say, I came home one afternoon and the garage door is up about this high, right? And I'm like, somebody's been in my garage. So I go and open the garage and I look toward the back and I see some feet hanging out. And I'm like, no. There were some old mattresses in the garage. He decided that I guess he was going to move in. So he was having himself a nap.
A little siesta in the garage.
Yeah, this guy was good.
He was great.
And he threw stuff out the window, remember?
Oh yeah, he
threw
threw stuff out the kitchen window because his sink was messed up. So there was a tub in the sink, right? And he cleaned the dishes in there, and then he throw the dish pan out the window.
Wow.
So it's all black underneath his window.
Throwing the grease out.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Wow.
Yeah, you can only imagine what the rest of him looked like if that was what his dishes conjured up, is his black stuff. So, anyway.
From Sling Blade.
Oh, right. And, you know, I lived next to him for about 3 years, so there's plenty of there was.
Is he still around, or is he dead, or is he with the cat?
I think they finally did kick him out of the house because they sold it to somebody else. You know.
Now he's permanently living in that garage that you used to own.
Hey. I used to live here. If the guy moved out, said I could live here forever.
He said I could come with the house.
Well, Rob and I have a friend named Pat, and he's got a guy that lives. Is he his neighbor, or does he live down the street?
He lives like catty corner behind it, like across the alley. Yeah.
So he comes over and he's crying. He's like, "Oh man, what's the guy's name?" Huh?
Jerry.
Jerry, what's the matter? Oh, Pat, my cat is gone. And so Pat does the right thing and goes and adopts the cat. Do you remember this story? Or you
No, I don't. Was
yeah, it was the Christmas,
was it the Christmas party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he goes and he adopts this cat, and he goes to the Humane Society. He has to fill out all this paperwork, and he's like, "Look, I'm getting it for my neighbor." And they're like, "Wait a minute, this isn't for you?" And he's like, "No, but the guy is kind of, he's kind of slow, and I'd really like to get it to him." So they let him have the cat, and he takes the cat to him, and it looks exactly like the cat that's dead. He's like, "Jerry, look, I found your cat."
Oh,
he's
is this like a pet cemetery of
he says, "Jerry, I found your cat." He's like, "Well, that's weird, because my cat's in the garage. He must have just run off. He came home." So Pat goes to return the cat to the Humane Society, and they don't take very kind to that.
They don't have a return
No.
policy.
It's more stringent than Best Buy. He had a receipt, and they didn't care. Yeah, and he ended up leaving it. He said, "I'm going to leave this cat, and I'm going to..."
throw it on the roof and take off.
He says, he's threatened to kill the cat, and that got him all up in arms.
Oh, right.
So and they kept calling him.
He'd been better off threatening the person than he did the cat.
Right.
So what happened to the cat? Was that the one
We don't
that I
know.
found under my shed?
It might, I think a nice family in Wood River got him and put him in the shed.
Well, it was kind of weird, though, because the cat really hadn't decomposed. Not
So
to the
still-
point where you
He
go,
was like mummified.
that's been over there
It had
for
to
a
been
while.
there for a year.
Yeah, it had to been there 3 years by the time that
Well,
they pulled that shed, so I don't know.
I don't know if it was last year.
Probably says a lot about the soil around here.
I think it was last year. My daughter came
All the
in.
benzene.
Megan, the daughter, not the attorney, walked in the house and said, "Hey, there's a cat out in the driveway." And I'm like, "Okay," And then Ronnie comes in and she says, "Hey, did Megan tell you about the cat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a cat in the driveway." "Okay, what's the big deal about the cat?" She goes, "It's dead." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that kind of changes things a little bit."
Just a little.
So I go out there, and it must have gotten hit by a car.
Or she
Ran up the driveway, and then kicked the bucket right in the corner of my neighbor's house that has the pit bull, and right there, right still on my property. Okay.
Right. Zero.
She's
fence.
not
Right.
it.
Well, that's what she wanted to do.
Kicking across the line.
It was a huge cat. It was still floppy, and it just
So it
grabbed
could have
the
had a
feet
heart
all
attack.
over. No, it had blood. It was
Oh,
some
okay.
blood.
I didn't know it could have
Well,
been.
my mom still lived there with us, so I'm like, okay, it's 10 o'clock at night.
So you take it to her.
I can do one of three things. I can do one of three things. I can leave the cat and let my mom see it in the morning. No, Richard! She'd freak out. Or, as the wife's like, just take it and shove it over in their yard, and they'll think the dog ate it. So I'm like, I could do that, but what we ended up doing is at 10:30 at night, we dug a hole out behind
goodness.
the garage.
Well, which isn't creepy. Or
No, not at all. Yeah.
But then when it came out of the ground the next day,
Yeah. Now, I tell you, my neighbors are selling their house. I don't know why. So
they're figuring out the neighbors are digging graves at 10 at night. Well, speaking of animals and ladies, that got me thinking about Vicky. Remember her, the clerk at work? He used to work at Olin. We had this old farm boy there. You know, one of them guys who grew up on the farm, you barely understand what he's saying, you know, just hick city. Well, a possum walks in one night on afternoons, grabs it by the tail, he's carrying it around, laughing, joking. Well, our clerk sits in a little office with a sliding window. Her name was Vicky. She just had corrective eye surgery done, and they messed it up, so she was all, you know, couldn't see very good.
Right.
Well, Damon was this guy's name. Sits that possum right on the windowsill, that sliding window. You know, get a good gag out of it. So we're all kind of standing there. She slides it open. Oh, pretty kitty! And starts petting that possum, mouth open. I was waiting for her to come back with a nub. Damon's like, don't touch it! And just petting it on the head. I was like, oh my God.
It's like that commercial where she calls the cat and the raccoon comes in.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe she didn't come back with a bloody stump.
That's
incredible. Awesome. Well, let's segue into.
You know what?
We haven't done this in a long time.
When we get a new guy on the show,
Uh-oh.
it's tradition.
Initiation.
No, it's not really tradition.
It's only been one time.
It happened one time.
Yeah, and I haven't left
That
yet.
guy stuck around.
Yeah, but maybe. I'm trying to think
Not
of this
that I'm
might
saying
be.
anything bad about Rob.
Well, at least he's a shift worker, so you know I'm good for every other week anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
All right,
That's the
so
way James went out. Okay.
it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have viewer mail, what we like to call the mailbag. And to handle the mailbag is my friend, Rob Handling, everybody. There you go.
Thank you very much. All right, this question is for Steve and Rich. Quit messing with my
And you just, I'm sorry, these just came in
These
right
just
before the
came
show.
up.
Tony Express. All right.
Still warm.
In fact,
I
there may
have-
be some more. Let me check. Go ahead.
All right.
Start, Rob.
Steve and Rich, I have the sugar diabetes. Does that mean they will amputate my feet, or can I keep them?
Only if you play your cards right.
Yeah, I mean, because there's pluses to having your feet amputated.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
You won't have to work anymore.
Right, no more work.
No more athlete's foot.
Right.
Right. No more.
Socks,
Yeah.
shoes.
You don't have to go shoe shopping.
Right. Wheelchair, maybe, be in your life there.
Right.
I mean, I've seen
You know what? It
people
can
on
probably
bus.
fit you for those
Spring
blades.
feet, like the store
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
a Blade Runner.
Chinks.
Hey, you can do fun stuff with socks.
With all
He's
your
a fun
leftover
guy,
socks.
isn't he?
Fun guy. Oh, just think all that. You never have to clip your toenails again.
All right.
Toe jam.
No more toe
So
jam.
we're at that age where we can't reach the toenails
No, I
anymore.
haven't seen my toe jam in about 8 years.
We'd probably take an angle grinder to him.
Yeah.
He might not even have feet.
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
He's got clippers.
Yeah. All right, Dad, your shoes are tied.
Right.
You can go to work.
All right.
Put them on before you go to bed at night.
I never take them off.
Right.
It's the same shoes I've had since 1998.
And water socks.
All right. Ready for the next one. Guys, you always talk about Dave having cancer. Is there a chance we could see it on an upcoming episode?
We've tried that. We've asked him
Tried to see
for
the cancer.
pictures of the
Cancer
cancer
vision?
or
Yeah, you know, he hasn't. He shows no sign really of cancer outside of shaving his head.
but he might shave that. We don't know.
He shaved his head
Yeah.
for that one episode, and he's kept it that way. And then,
Hey, does Steve have the cancer?
But
so look at
I
that.
shaved my head. Right. I could.
Let's
Sign.
Let's see your cancer.
Oh, yeah. I see
Look,
it.
that's
Dangerous
short.
looking.
Yeah, I don't know. funny business.
It is some funny business.
It is strange. We'll have to ask him if he ever comes back. Okay.
Hawaii.
Is that where he's at? Hawaii?
I don't know. He might still be in Alton.
He's sure.
On Hawaii Street.
Right.
There's like a tanning place
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, there is it's Hawaiian ice, snow or something.
There you go. Yeah.
If you check his pictures on Facebook, they look just like ones in a magazine.
Yeah.
A travel brochure for Hawaii.
He's down at Riverbender using a green screen.
Selfie.
Selfie.
Sitting on the toilet
With the shoes off.
With the
pink towel.
yeah.
the
Shoes off and pink towel.
Sticky potty.
Doing the duck lips.
Stinky potty.
Oh no.
Don't bring that back.
No,
Like Flappy Bird.
he won't do it.
Dave?
Yeah, he.
There's pictures of him doing duck lips.
Yeah, but
It was Duck Dynasty.
It was-
He was going through a Duck Dynasty phase.
he still is.
That's why
I
he still
think.
has the beard.
He was going to see the Mayan ruins in Hawaii. So figure that
Oh,
one
like
out.
Uncle Si.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so he's all into that. I told him if he found one of them tiki things, not make a necklace out of it.
Right.
Oh yeah. Don't want to bring the Brady Bunch into this.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Vincent Price and was it Oliver? Yeah. The tiki's name was Oliver. It was inside the.
And then years later, cousin Oliver showed
Right.
up.
Right.
Coincidence?
I don't think so.
I think not.
Little shark.
And then he came back reincarnated as Little Sam on Different Strokes.
Yeah, we didn't watch that show as much as
You
you,
watched-
Rich.
Yeah, I watched it.
I liked the Different
We watched a lot of
Right
Different
now, Dana Plato, dude. You didn't want. That's the only reason why I watched it. Come on.
That will still go down to the
She is dead.
one
should've
time that
used
I
her
cried
on.
watching TV was an episode.
I
a
should
very
have.
special episode of Different Strokes.
Was that the one that they were trying to do? Was trying to fruit? Who was trying to fruit Arnold?
No, this one with the special needs guy on the bicycle.
Yeah.
Everybody made fun of him, and Arnold stuck up for him, and it really got. I was like 7. It really got to me. It was a poignant moment.
What was the
Remember the All in the Family one when somebody tried to sexually assault Edith? Remember that one?
Hey, I did have.
He's probably got it on tape.
Hey, I did have to catch the very special episode
let me
of
turn the
Family Ties
sound
the other
down.
night. Tom Hanks and the alcoholic uncle.
Oh, right. I've seen that
There
one.
was drinking
Trying to
his
drink
TV.
the, it was vanilla extract, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Remember the very poignant episode of Family Ties with Tom Hanks as the alcoholic uncle? It was a 2-parter.
Yeah.
It was on TV Land a while back, and I got sucked into it.
Tina Yothers worst actress
Oh yeah.
ever. Sorry, Tina.
But then what was the mom?
Meredith.
Meredith Baxter went on to a lucrative career, getting beat up on the Lifetime Network.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got beat up so much you turned lesbian.
Yeah, beat the straight right out of her. All right, Dave. Dave. Why do you take so much time off?
Well, the cancer. Yeah.
Where'd Dave go?
I don't know.
He's not here tonight?
He'd be able to answer that, but
He's not
he
here.
took the
He's
night
not
off.
here, man.
You know what?
What?
Come to think of it, we started this thing to get together with Dave.
And hang out.
Remember that?
And now you're getting
hang
together
out
with
with
Howie.
And he's been gone.
Not that you're right.
Should we tell everyone that he's really dead and that we just kind of
Wait, what?
And then he'll be resurrected.
It's the
and
bond.
Wait,
miraculous.
is he the new Dave then?
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
Dave Light.
Dave Light.
we didn't want to break it until the end of the episode.
But you have cancer.
that way.
Got the cancer in the shot.
that way.
Diabetes.
That way people could watch without the tears, and that'd be okay. Life would be good.
All right, Dan the Man.
Yes.
Why is it that you disappear every time Skip shows up? Are you afraid of psychics?
Oh, wow.
Where's
I
this?
never even
I didn't
realized
think of that either.
Or is it kind of like a Clark Kent Superman?
Or
thing?
Batman?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really
Have you ever
thought
met
about
Skip?
it.
You're the one that hired him.
Met him backstage a couple times.
Yeah.
And at trivia.
And at
I've seen you
trivia.
two. Yeah, trivia.
Yeah. So I've met him.
Well,
I
they were standing next to each other in the men's room.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did meet him at karaoke night.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were there together too.
Yeah.
So to tell you the truth, I'm really not sure why it hasn't worked out on the show like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of odd. He's been here, what, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah, too bad you don't write the funny answers to go with these funny. I've got a million.
Hey, look, there they are. I didn't have time. We were busy.
And the final question is, Rob, why would you allow yourself to be humiliated like this? I don't think it's a humiliation. I'm having a good time. I'm honored to be invited to sit in on the panel.
You didn't tell your family or anything.
The wife knows about it, so that's about it.
But the internet's down right now.
Sorry.
That little plug come out of the back of the computer.
That's nothing to worry about.
We've got Wi-Fi.
Really?
Just go next door.
You must not be doing it right?
Yeah, I was going to say. Out the window.
You know the password.
Melanie.
Excuse me.
And that's Millie's contribution to this show.
We've been trying to get Millie to show up for how long? 1 or 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I feel like we brought it up in passing, but she's busy in the morning.
Right.
So she was watching.
I watch you Thursday morning.
She watches us
before I
Thursday
go to
morning
work.
before she goes to work.
Start my day off right,
Right.
because I can't stay awake Wednesday night.
Right.
But since I was dismissed from service work early, a week early.
Well, congratulations.
Was that a voluntary?
No, it was not.
Oh.
It was not a firing. I was not fired. My boss was just mad because I was on crutches and couldn't shovel snow.
Oh,
So she let me go a week early.
I'm telling you,
I can see
you
that.
should have called that dude with the eye patch because when you fell, when she was making you shovel the snow, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
I took an human resources class when I was laid off from the Olin, and I can tell you that
I probably
if
should
you
have
were
went
injured
in.
at home and you go to work and you get injured,
Re-injured.
and you re-injure it, that day,
the ball.
that's their baby.
Yeah. I
Call Brown and Brown.
probably should have called you before
Should-
I said, well, no, Sue, I can't shovel snow with this crutch.
Right. Well,
Because
if I fall, what happens if I fall and break my other ankle? Then it's going to be a workers' comp thing.
Oh, yeah. I would have limped into work and then fell.
Right.
And then made it a workman's
I wish I
comp.
could have walked into work the next morning after I fell off the ladder. All the years I've done what I do for a living, never fell off a ladder.
Fell off a ladder. Remember I fell off the ladder?
I've been falling off the ladder too.
I don't know.
That was funny.
Like, Dominic, don't try to catch me. Just let me go.
So I'll let you
I'll
go.
smash you. Get outside when we're
Yeah.
smash. Yeah. So
And then I threw up cereal.
Yeah, we're not
Because
very
I was
safe
scared.
when we're trimming hedges, so we're on ladders
Oh.
with hedge clippers and electrical chainsaws and stuff, and
Maybe I should reconsider.
Maybe we should videotape
yeah, it would be fun.
Don't do this
It's
at home.
usually fun.
Yeah, keep the homeowners up to date.
Ooh.
So, but do you let go of the hedge trimmer, or you just
Yeah, they're electrical powered too, so as soon as you let go of it or
Just
quit
make
looking
sure
at
you
them.
don't want to land on it.
Yeah, you don't want to land on them.
You want to throw them far away.
But they
But you can't even
Job done.
you can't keep a mower going. So
that's why it's electric.
It's electric.
how do you shut this off? It's broken.
How do you even turn it
It
on?
doesn't shut off if you duct tape the trigger part
Yeah,
back.
so that's what we haven't done that.
And so,
And it won't shut off if Dominic's the one holding it and he's falling and I'm holding the ladder and it side swipes my face. Or
and if it's a metal ladder,
Then you just
and
shave the other
it's-
side.
it's a-
I wouldn't let go. I'd try to save the trimmer.
That's why you grow that heavy beard. It's kind of a Hank Williams Jr. type thing, and then
Well, yeah.
cover up all
The
the
mountain
scars.
stars,
Yeah,
mountain
you fall off
stars.
of like a cliff or something.
Yeah, you went off a mountain.
and didn't get hurt.
That's why I never see him without.
Because if he wore a helmet, he'd be okay.
Clean shaven or anything.
Well, you got any Nick update? It's 8:30.
No, actually I don't.
Is he
You
okay?
need some new shoes and.
Need some new shoes. We need to send them to Hawaii, probably.
To see the Mayan ruins.
See the Mayan ruins. But we did have
Go see Dog the Bounty Hunter.
a
That's too bad.
donor that I'm assuming was probably local that contributed to the website. So
Oh, very nice.
thank you, local donor, and too bad the folks at Toledo aren't that generous. That's pretty sad.
When somebody from the Lou got to
Oh yeah,
contribute to someone in Toledo, and they've had like news stories about him on
Really?
the local news in Toledo.
Toledo's in, not in bad economical shape. Sorry up there with Detroit.
Yeah,
Is that why everybody says Holy Toledo?
Yeah.
that's right. That's exactly why.
Very religious town.
You know, their one contribution to society is the scale.
Mettler, Toledo.
No springs, honest weight.
Now
Didn't know that.
Yeah, now they use a cell.
All those
Way to go.
trivia games really got you going.
Yeah, way to
Yeah,
make
they did.
way to make the show all serious and stuff.
Wow, you know.
That little Mr. Wizard
Start
vibe.
Talking about dead babies and amputating feet, and next thing you know, we're talking about scales and Toledo.
Weights and measures.
It turned into a Big Bang Theory show where I gotta
Kidding.
think.
And
don't
we'll
think
never
that'll
get
ever happen.
we'll never get there. That's why people attend trivia nights that
Right.
we host.
Yeah.
So, funny story.
Here we go.
So the trivia event, we have a woman come up to us and she says, "Hey, are all these questions going to be pictures? Because I
Okay, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
So I spent some time on this trivia night. I mean, I've got an audio-visual showcase of just it's total PowerPoint. I had like almost 1 gig of PowerPoint presentation.
That's
I
like
mean,
a party.
we're talking 168 slides. I had videos. I had intermissions. I had it all. Okay. So I'm cranking through these, showing pictures, and people are, ooh, ah. Okay, so go right ahead there.
So a lady comes up before the beginning of round 3 because the break was going to be coming up after round 3, and she says, "Hey, are all these going to be?" So we've done 2 rounds. Are all these going to be pictures, or is there some words? Because there's a gentleman at our table that's legally blind, and he can't see the screen. And we're kind of like taken aback, and Rich looks through his notes.
He says, no, you'll probably be okay.
I said, "You'll probably be okay. It'll probably just be 2 or 3 of them." And Rich looks through and he goes, "Yeah, the next one's pictures too." And I said, "Well, what table are you sitting at?" And she points right in the middle of the room. So there's, they can't. He needs that. He can see out of his peripheral vision or something like that. So
Like turn to the side.
he needed to be right next to the screen. Like, here's the screen. So she asked if we can move his table. We're like, yeah. We push it off onto Mr. B, the gentleman running it for the for the school, and they move their table. They pull a table from outside and they get them all moved, and we do the thing.
Well, Steve says, "Well, surely you don't have too many more rounds of pictures, right?" And I'm looking through them like, "Yeah, you go ahead and move it."
So, yeah, by round 8, I'm like, you know what? I think you only had like 2 rounds that weren't pictures. So like this whole trivia presentation was pictures. So I go outside at one of the intermissions, and the guy's out there, and I don't know it's him because he's not looking at me like this. He's looking at me, and he goes, "So how you guys doing on the trivia?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not playing. I'm helping with the presentation." And he goes, "Yeah, I had to move my table because I'm legally blind." And I said, "Yeah, I know. We kind of saw you move your table and everything. I'm not legally blind, so I can see."
I got the diabetes.
I got the whole thing. I don't have a foot.
Give me a few years, and I'll be legally blind with you.
I might not have feet or anything, but I saw you move. But that was our, so like all of them were.
How long does it take to get ready for something like that? I mean, what kind of prep goes into that?
Oh,
Rich, not much. I think he was waiting until the week before.
about a week. It takes me a good week, and that's what I'm like, okay, I gotta sit down and do it.
He's a dead, likes deadlines.
Yeah, kind of like writing your viewer questions like 5 minutes before the show.
In fact, I was doing some last minute tweaks at the trivia hall.
Twerking.
And while we were testing the system, I was like,
Might be why I can't sell my house.
Are you listening?
I'm sorry?
Nothing. We were talking about real estate.
Can't sell my house because the
Legally
neighbors
deaf?
are twerking.
What? You legally deaf?
I'm sorry?
Huh?
Don't forget to join us at 10
10 o'clock
on
tonight.
Talk Radio.
How about
So an hour and 20
Yeah, are you going to be able to
something
stay with us for through that?
No, I'm ahead. I told the kid I'd be home for her bedtime.
Okay.
So, oh, you probably should do that. It's
Yeah.
your kid,
My daughter.
not just showing up someplace.
No, not random kid.
No kid. Bedtime. That's pretty bad.
People bring me in when their kids are acting up.
You get paid.
I'm the monster in the closet.
I'd totally be that job.
That would be a fun job to have, except for the screaming kids.
Well, you could leave. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, get them wound up like grandma, you know?
Yeah.
And my grandma used to frighten us too. Weird stuff. She didn't have feet.
You could only look at him. You said he's fine.
No, I think it was an elective surgery.
She just did it for the attention.
Just didn't want them to-
She had corns real bad. They didn't have those.
She had the gout.
She was really, really tired of running the vacuum cleaner.
Man, I knew a dude that had the gout, and he would take this medicine to help ease the gout pain.
Because it's like an acid thing or something.
It's uric acid,
Uric
yeah. Well, the side effect of the medicine was explosive diarrhea.
I'd rather have my foot hurt.
Cue the side effect. There you go. And so he would be sitting there working, and he'd just run, and I'm like,
I can believe.
And then you hear all kinds of strange noises.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
You okay in there?
walking on broken glass or
I got a
explosive
bunion.
diarrhea.
I got a bunion. That's no joke. I'm gonna have to get it.
You really have a
Oh man.
You need a good doctor? I had my bunion removed.
There we go.
My big toe
Bunion
like
talk,
points all the way over. I've actually.
Like which way? Does it point toward your
you
other
go-
toe?
points towards the other toes, but it's
Yeah.
curled all the way in, and it has hurt so bad that I have actually taken a pencil and
Oh,
taped it to the
I
side
do
of my
remember
foot, and then take my toe to the pencil to
Yep.
straighten it because it hurts so freaking bad.
Yep.
And it's like that knuckle, there's a big old knob on it, and you can see it through my shoes sometimes.
Has it always been like that?
It started about the past 10 years, I guess.
I'm standing on it all the time and stuff.
Them concrete floors I get to work on. And
So I
Did you
guess
get those the pad with the put
It's,
the
nothing works once it's
Nothing?
there.
So I guess your flip flops are like flops. They just pretty much flip.
They don't flip.
They don't flip. They flop.
All right,
If you don't fix it,
we've
you
gone
just
well
undercut
over.
the
So
other foot.
thank you all for
Nice.
attending the first year.
Thanks for the info.
First
Thanks for the buzz.
yeah week 1 of season 2.
week 1 of
Year
year 2.
Year 2.
Yeah.
So
We tried the season.
Is it
thing
really?
before, didn't
Oh,
we?
yeah, it doesn't work. We can't
Yeah, it is
keep
week
track
2
that
of
stuff.
Year 2.
Year
The
2.
Harry Potter book, year 1.
Season
Week
1
one.
of year 2.
There you go.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank
I-
Rob for
I
coming.
don't know.
Appreciate you
Like,
guys.
Thank you,
inviting me.
Millie and
Millie,
Steve, for sitting
Steve,
there. We
for
appreciate
coming
it.
in. Studio audience, Steve.
Not exactly
Witness protection.
witness protection right now.
Hopefully
Need to disguise the voice.
Not the last time we'll see you guys, but you,
You gotta have the
best of
national
luck on your new
festival.
Thank
adventure.
you. I will miss the area. I won't miss the weather, but I'll miss the community, and that's the good thing about living here. There's nothing like our awesome police and fire department and the community feeling, but the weather sucks, so I'm leaving.
There you go. There you go.
Hey,
Fair weather friend right there.
and thank you, Rob, for sitting in.
I appreciate the invite, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll invite you every time Dave's gone.
I had a good time.
In fact, if you can just show up, you're funnier than Dave anyway. So we'll just kind of edge him out. Dave, if you're listening, just never mind what I just said. It was
Disregard that
Richard's
last transmission.
idea.
Look
So-
here, please.
Okay, we'll see you at 10 o'clock. Actually, you'll hear us at 10 o'clock.
It's just
It's 10.
blog radio.
Blog Talk Radio.
Call in.
Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Call in, talk to us. You know, we don't get the callers like we should. So.
Simon.
Simon Scott.
And you know what was bad was it was so bad last week that my old imaginary friend called in.
That's right. What was his name?
Rudy Kazuti.
Yeah, Rudy Kazuti. He's in prison. You worked him over. Hey, maybe he owned the cat. Might have been Rudy's cat.
That's revenge.
Anyway, we'll see you at 10 o'clock. Look, I pointed like what you usually do.
Yeah.